How do we reconcile different religious belief systems in an open society? Without religion, who guides us? With too much religion, how can we all come together? Open University law lecturer Jessica Giles takes a look.
Article 9 of the European Convention on Human Rights was put in place after the horrors of the Second World War. During that period, the Nazis sought as a state to impose a specific ideology on people, and it was difficult for individuals, if not impossible, for them to hold their own opinions or exercise beliefs that stepped outside that ideology. So what happens when citizens no longer have freedom of thought, conscience and religion? The government becomes a ruling elite and it makes moral decisions for its citizens and imposes laws. It's difficult to challenge abuses of power and difficult to argue that a decision of the government or the courts is unjust. Eventually, citizens find it difficult to form a basis of ethical reasoning and create a public discourse around right and wrong. So what would society look like with complete freedom of religion and belief? Do you think society would be governable? Do you think that there would be tolerance between individuals? Or would we see clashes between religions and the exercise of conscience on a regular basis? So what does the exercise of freedom of thought, conscience and religion look like in practice? In Britain, for example, we have a system of pluralism whereby the government authorities and the law seeks to maximise the ability of individuals to exercise their religious freedom. This directly contrasts to a country like France, for example, where there is a system of secularism and state neutrality. So a public employer, for example, can deny an individual the right to wear a religious symbol to work. This demonstrates, if you like, that the living together and the exercise of religious freedom within a state is dependent to a certain extent on state ideology and the agreement that a state has with its citizens in that regard. What I'd like to leave you with is the idea or thought about the extent of a state's power to restrict religious freedom of its citizens. How far should it be possible for a state to impose a secular or neutral ideology? How far should a state encourage or engender pluralism, tolerance and living together in society?